This episode is brought to you by the I Am a Five-Star Woman Retreat. Join us as women convene south of tropical Miami, Florida on October 6, 2018. In this one-day retreat from our surrounding worlds, ladies will congregate to enjoy all things Jamila Wellness, from uniting the women in the family with the Forever Brunch, to living our star lives, to building our resilience with Naturally Cinnamon. The attendees of these retreats will leave with tools to immediately apply to their lives. The menu, each section, and every activity have been delicately created to increase every aspect of wellness in women: mental wellness, emotional wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, and yes, spiritual wellness too. Not only will you walk away with having developed each point of your star, you will be a five-star woman. Register now at www.starshineconference.com and use promo code podcast to receive 10% off your ticket. Can't make it and want a live stream? There's an option for you too. www.starshineconference.com. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time of the day it is that you're tuning in. Welcome to another episode of the Resilience Rising Podcast with me, Naturally Cinnamon. I am a therapist, life coach, resilience cultivator, and the founder and CEO of Jamila Wellness LLC, where women go to be well and live beautifully. You can find us at resiliencerisingpodcast.com. You can also send in your questions, topics, comments, and feedback at resiliencerisingpodcast@gmail.com. Like this, love this, share it, rate it, comment, but most important, make sure that you're subscribed and following. Here's another episode. Hope you enjoy. Hey everybody. So today we're going to have a Hey Gawjuss episode with Mrs. Shay Harris, and that's going to come up in a few. So let's go ahead and get our wins, L's, and I don't knows out the way. Now, I haven't really had time to check in with the community online for wins, L's, and I don't knows, but I'm going to share one of my wins for the week, and I'm going to share an I don't know, which is actually an announcement. Yes, I have a special announcement for you guys. So I am a college professor at a local college, here in town, and I teach the courses that are primarily dealing with freshmen, which basically helps students, learn some success skills as you're going into college. And I also do some classes that transition high school students into college courses. So, I'm really trying to help them build their resilience as they become college students. And this was my first time teaching actually high school age students. And I mean, as young as ninth graders, teaching them on a college level. And I didn't want to make it too intense, but I didn't want to make it too easy because I wanted to keep it realistic for what college is. So as I wasn't 100% sure how I was doing, I'm sitting with a friend one day in the past few days, and she got a tag on Facebook that said, "Hey, tag Cinnamon in this status." And I look at the status and I read it, and it's one of my students' mothers. And she is just giving me such a praise, saying how much I'm imparting so much knowledge into not just her daughter, but other students in that same class. And how, apparently they've gotten together and had a discussion about it, apparently. And that, I've been just, a professor, and she was thanking me for not being like some other college professors, which are, can be mean and just, nasty for no reason. And, oh, well, you're in college, so figure it out. I'm trying to help them transition into college so that once they find themselves in a professor's class, a professor like that in their class, that they'll be better able to handle the pressure or the stress. And so I was just like blown away that this woman, she made this whole comment, having no idea whether or not I was on Facebook, whether I'd see it or not. She was just saying, my daughter's professor's name is this, and she is just great. And like this whole paragraph of good stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that made me feel so good. So here I was going through, weeks of curriculum, like not really knowing how things were going, the way things were bouncing back and forth. The beginning of this past semester was really rough on myself and thus on some of the students. And I just was like, you guys, I promise we will get through this together. And to know that that is the outcome was really, was really heartwarming. And so I just wanted to thank her for her words, and I did want to submit that as my win for the week. Now, I'm going to skip over the L's, but the I don't knows was I have encountered personally and via social media over the past maybe month or so, maybe in the last 2 months, a lot of people that I know either personally or, indirectly, dealing with a lot of issues with relationships as the, hilltops and valleys, of relationships, and not just romantic relationships, but with family relationships, with friendships, with coworkers, any type of relationships that we have. So I'm going to turn some of those things into a series. After this episode today, the next 4 episodes will be the relationship series episodes. And we're going to cover, like I said, different types of relationships. We're going to start with our relationship with ourselves. We're going to cover our relationships with our friends. We're going to talk about we're going to touch on romantic relationships, but we're also going to talk about relationships with our family members. So any questions you guys have, get those in because I'm ready to rock and roll. So let's move on with today's episode. Don't forget to submit your wins, L's, and I don't knows so that those can be announced on the next episodes as well. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoy. This segment is brought to you by Black Pride Box, the premier subscription box celebrating the pride and beauty of being Black all year long. They will provide you with products that empower you to embrace the beauty of being Black, display your pride in your culture, and celebrate Black history all year long. Go to blackpridebox.com. That is blackpridebox.com. Subscribe and get notified when they launch. You'll then be able to receive your subscription box once they go on sale.
Hashtag put it all on the table.
On the red table.
On the red table. We about to red table that.
So as we get into some red table talking, this past episode was about addictions. And let me tell you guys, I don't think the episode was a good 30 seconds in before I was tearing up. I don't know if you saw it or not. It was really very well orchestrated, in my opinion, as most of the episodes, if not all of them, have been. But this particular episode dove into Jada Pinkett Smith's mother, Adrienne, also known as Gammy, and her past with addiction to heroin, and the fact that she is now 27 years clean. That is an amazing feat. I'm so proud of her. That could not have been easy by any stretch. In fact, she did state in the episode that it took her 6 years to get 1 year clean. And for those who may not understand what that means, it took, she would go some months without using and then go back into, using or have a setback before she reached her 1 year mark. So it took 6 years of trying to make 1 solid year of clean living to be drug free before she finally made it to her 1 year mark. They can't be easy. It cannot be easy. A lot of times, if people have not had any type of experience with anyone who has had an addiction of any sort, being able to say, oh my gosh, they should just go to rehab, or they should just, stop cold turkey. I know somebody that stopped cold turkey and a lot of people can say a lot of things, but once you've had an experience with someone who's had an addiction of any sort, or even if you've had an experience of an addiction of any sort, then, you'll know it's not quite so easy to say, okay, I'm going to stop, and then actually stop. It's not always quite so easy. The artist August Alsina was also on there, and he was talking about how he had a fall off of a stage, and it was a pretty bad fall. He was really banged up. And so during the healing process, he was given Percocet. I think it was Percocet. Okay, see, now I just drew a blank. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a painkiller medication, and a pretty strong one at that. And he was just addicted to it. He wanted more and more of it. You never really know exactly how someone's addiction starts. There are so many different ways that an addiction can begin, but it can take a toll on you. And I just wanted to commend anyone that may be listening that has kicked the habit of an addiction. Just kudos to you. You take that is a big win. That's a life win right there. And I just wanted to take a moment to say kudos to all of you. If you haven't seen that episode, there's not much I can say about it without getting emotional again. But if you have not seen that episode, I strongly encourage you to watch that episode. I encourage everyone to watch it with their kids. It doesn't matter what age, because you never know when addictions begin. There are children with addictions. There are teenagers with addictions, and they may not even realize that they had an addiction. You know, August Alsina made a comment that he was like, "Oh, I'm not addicted. I don't have an addiction. I don't have a problem." And he said he thought he didn't have an addiction at the time, only now to look back and say, wow, I was an addict. So there's that. You know, I strongly encourage watching that episode with your children, with loved ones. As far as staging interventions, I was asked that question once, you know, would you stage an intervention? I would say you have to treat those things quite delicately. Don't let what you see on TV fool you. There are certain shows that I kind of like to watch, certain shows I don't like to watch. Please remember that whatever is on TV is for entertainment purposes. You know, a vast majority of the things you see are for entertainment purposes. So please remember that as you're watching whatever it is that you're watching. If you're going to stage, if you think you want to stage an intervention from some sort of addiction behavior because you saw it on some show, please use caution with that. I invite you to go on to the website called facingaddiction.org. There's lots of resources on that website for people who, you know, may be struggling with addiction, or if you know someone who is struggling with addiction, there's a lot of information there about substance misuse, prevention, recovery. I invite you to, read up on that. And if you really need some help, or the person that that has an addiction really needs some help and they don't know where to call, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration has a national helpline. All of this information I will definitely have in the episode notes. But that helpline is 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-HELP, HELP, which the numbers for that are 4357. That's a helpline that can, it will help direct people on where to go for, help. Be it a rehabilitation center, be it a be it a clinic, be it a therapist office, different resources, and it's national. It's, across the U.S. So, don't try to take it on yourself, because addictions is very complicated, and if, for example, I'm a therapist, I've been doing mental health now for about 10 straight years, clinical mental health. Before that, I was doing community social work for about 3 years or so. I don't see clients that need addiction help, because I'm not what I consider properly trained specifically in that of addictions. I have not taken the extra step there. My specialty is in more of the mood disorders, depression, anxiety, bipolar, that things of that nature. But as far as addictions are concerned, I'm so delicate when it comes to addictions that I would rather put my client in the hands of someone that has that excess training to be better equipped to help them and to handle the struggles that they're going to go through, rather than to try to deal with it myself. That's how serious an addiction is, and that's how serious it is to try to clinically care for someone who is battling an addiction. So don't think you can just go out and do whatever haphazardly. There are people who have years and decades of experience and knowledge and education, etc., that are out there that are able to help. They're able to help you. They're able to help your loved one. So definitely, like I said, facingaddiction.org or the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration at 1-800-662-HELP. That's HELP. That would be my my suggestion to everybody. Watch this episode. It's on Facebook Watch. If there's anybody here that does not have a Facebook page, you know somebody that does, but I'm not positive if you don't have to. There's some things where you don't have to have a Facebook page and you'll be able to see it. I would give it a shot. It's facebook.com/Red Table Talk, and it's the most recent episode on addiction, but also to take a look into these resources as well. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another segment of Hey Gawjuss. This is when I take the time to highlight someone in our community, another woman who has taken something that she has experienced in life and has found some resilience in that and has now poured it into the lives of others. Today, we will be talking to Shay Harris. She's the creator and director of operations for the Girls Mentor Program, Divine Daughters of Destiny, one of the main important programs under the Gifted Love Foundation. Now, the Gifted Love Foundation, since 2015, has contributed to the development of children in the greater Miami area through their wide range of programs. They've got educational workshops that are centered on instilling strong values into youth and providing a safe space for them to expand their mind while meeting new and interesting individuals. They can be found at www.giftedlove.org. Now, everybody, please welcome Shay Harris. So, Mrs. Harris,
Yeah.
can you give us, in your word, a brief synopsis of Gifted Love Foundation?
Okay, so Gifted Love Foundation is basically a foundation that focuses on the adolescents, youth that's in our community. We work from Miami-Dade to Broward County line, basically allowing the kids that need redirection. The school board, certain families, the community has programmed our children to think certain ways, to do certain things, whatever it is, but it's basically reprogramming them to know what is right and what's wrong, and allowing them to know, to act like kings and queens. What you're wearing, no, that's not cool. What you're doing, no, that's not cool. You should be doing this. This is the route that you should be taking, because you don't hear that in school. You don't hear that in some churches also, but it's just like redirecting you and reprogramming your mind to know, hey, this is what needs to be done. This is the right way, because we didn't have that growing up. I mean, you have the YMCA, you have the Boys and Girls Club, but just to get in the core of the kids, girls and the boys, of just saying it's not cool to be in the streets. It's not cool to sell drugs. It's not cool to have on that short skirt. It's not cool to be smoking this. So it's not cool to sell your jewel. You are a queen. You are a king. Act like it. Get your mind right, and we're going to help you do that.
Wow. Well, there it is. I like that synopsis. How did you get into being the co-founder, right?
It's funny.
Okay.
Because I say co-founder. My husband was Caleb Harris, and there's James Lockett, and you have two others, which is Mr. Williams and Moss. They are the founders, the real founders of Gifted Love. When they created the foundation, it was just a mentors program for the boys, which is raising our sons. And we had different programs from feeding the homeless, feeding the elderly. We have our gardening program at the old folks home or elderly home. You have karate, you have tutoring, you have seamstress, you have dance. There's so many programs. But then, okay, we don't have a female mentors group.
Okay.
That's where I came in at.
Okay.
Who's going to run it? I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, let me do it. So when it first started, I was a little skeptical about it, because I'm feeling like, okay, they're not going to listen to me. I don't have much to say. I'm thinking that I don't have much to say. But the way God got my life set up is like, you got a lot to say. So that's how that came about, which is Divine Daughters of Destiny.
Oh, okay. So Divine Daughters of Destiny is like a a part of
Yes.
gifted. Okay, got you.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
So how do you feel about that? What are some passions that have come up out of this?
Oh, wow. Passions. Leading them in the right direction, because I didn't have nobody like besides parents or people in the church that planted seeds. So I like to see myself as seed planters, but to be able to say I've been where you've been. I've had the issue of self-esteem issues. I had the issues of depression. I've had the issues of not feeling loved. I had the issues of not feeling liked, or does this boy like me, or should I wear this? You know, the whole girl issue. Like, all of us, you know, you're too old. You don't understand. No, we understand very well. We understand very well. So we're trying to, or I was trying to, including other mentors, direct you in the right way that, hey, if you want a job, you don't need to be showing all that. Or if you want to present yourself on a resume, you don't need to put everything. Just make yourself look presentable on this paper. If you want a boy to like you, hey, you do not have to have on those boy shorts. Okay. So if you want to believe in yourself, first of all, it comes with a daily reminder of just saying, you got this. You're going to do this. Whatever you think that you can't do, you can do it. I don't know who told you that you can't do it, but you're going to do this. And it's going to take one step at a time, one crawl at a time, whatever it's going to be, and you're going to get it done. You need some help? Okay, let's get you some help. And I'll be that one that's going to help you. I'll be that one that's going to remind you. I'll be that one that's going to, to give you the accountability that you need to say, hey, make sure that you stay on track, right? So you don't slip up. Because I needed that. Wow. Women need that. Girls need that.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. So what are some of your other passions that you have in life?
You trying to go deeper? Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
My other passions, besides my current, which is motivating and inspiring other women and girls, singing and dancing since the age of 8.
Wow.
If there was a camera in my house and you just saw Shay with probably like a sheet on her thinking, a sheet on me thinking it was some type of gown or something, like I'm on a stage or something. I got my remote, that's my mic, and then I'm about to wrap that around me so I can have my overlay or something so I can dance. It's one of those two. You give me those, and yeah. It's a whole nother me.
Wow, so you had costuming,
girl,
and props and everything. You were ready
in my own little world. Those two right there. The arts, I love the arts. That's my passion. Yeah, you give me a stage and a mic and an overlay or some hip hop stuff.
But do you ever get to incorporate the arts in the Divine Daughters of Destiny? We
do. It's actually seasonal. So what we do right now is. What we're trying to do right now is any girl that is passionate about it or gifted about it or talented or just want to know how to dance, because you know you have some that just want to know how to, but
yeah, that would be me.
Just
I'm not
they just don't know
not
how
a gift.
Right? It's like I want to learn how to do two-step. Okay, that's simple.
Not a gift for me. I would be in your class.
I'm telling them, which I told my mentee the other day, I'm like, do you have rhythm, baby girl? Then you got it. You got some 1-2 rhythm, and then you're fine. But we do that mostly in the summer. And we have one of our upperclassmen high school who needs volunteer class, and have them teach that class. So on top of you getting volunteer hours, you're able to use your own gift to teach the younger ones how to dance as well.
Nice. Yeah. I love that. That's a holistic kind of every community
Let
type of approach.
Use your stuff.
Everybody,
you use it.
all hands on deck.
Yes.
I love that. So now, Mrs. Harris, tell me a little bit about you personally. I know you mentioned your husband.
Yes.
And you have any babies?
I have some babies.
You got some babies.
So my husband, Caleb Harris, I am a wife. I am a mother of my beautiful baby girl, my snuggle bunny, Kanaya. And then we have our one that's on the way, Mr. K3, our boy that's coming in November, hopefully October, Lord Jesus. And we have our two that's there. And then we have our personal business. That's Harris Enterprise, which you'll see in future upcoming events. I'm a sister. I'm a best friend. I'm an aunt. I'm a godmother. Yeah.
Listen, I got excited when you said that baby K3 was due in November, but probably October, because my birthday's at the end of October.
Really?
So don't you dare have your baby on my birthday, because that would be my birthday buddy.
What date?
And we will be October 25th.
Get out.
We will be birthday buddies.
That ain't got nothing to do with
me. And I would be like, what? I have a birthday buddy.
That don't have nothing to do with me.
Nobody will ever again ask me what I'm doing for my birthday.
You and God. I don't got nothing
Nobody
to do
will
with
ever get, okay, well, Lord, because you know I've been looking for a birthday buddy. Like, you know I'm waiting for somebody I know to have a baby on my birthday. So if you just so happen to see fit.
Right, to see fit.
To
make
bless
this child.
To bless this baby to be
God.
Born on such a wonderful day.
Yes, Lord. In the name.
I accept.
There we go.
Yes.
Amen.
Okay.
I love it.
So now, Shay, tell me, we're going to get into the Gawjuss segment right now. And we're going to, Gawjuss does stand for godly, active, wise, just, uplifting, sincere, and soulful. I almost said social.
I got you.
Well, that might work, but okay. So what does it mean to you to be godly?
All right, to be godly. When I just side note, when I hear these questions, it's like, okay, being on Family Feud, it's like, okay, you gotta think quick on your feet. You gotta think real quick on your feet. Like, what is that? Okay.
I'm giving you training for the red carpet.
Right, though.
That's your red carpet training.
That's a good question. Next. Godly, to be godly. Ah, man. I mean, that can go on. It's not really, what do I think? It's more of an action. Just walking like God, how he wants us to walk like him, which is being patient, having peace, having strength, having confidence. Just walking like him. If you don't know what that means, go open the Bible.
Oh, check your references.
Go open the Bible. Yeah.
All right. So what does it mean to you to be active?
Active. To be active. Move. Social. To move. To be social. To participate, to, I mean, that can go on too. See, these questions are Family Feud questions. Like, you just got it so broad. Oh my gosh. To be active, you just.
But see, unlike Family Feud, we're not going to tell you if your answer's right or wrong.
Right? Because everything I'm just going to say, it just come off the
there
dome.
You go.
It's going to be right. It's just
there
going to be right. Just to be active, to be social, to move, to interact. Because that can go on too.
All right.
Just give me Webster, and then I can give you.
Then I wouldn't need to ask you.
Well,
no, I want to know what Shay has to say. So what do you think it mean? What does it mean to you to be wise?
Growth.
That's a good one.
Yeah, to be wise is to have growth. To not only just have growth, growing up, more knowledge. I mean, when you say wisdom, and you think or look at an elderly person because they've gone through so much, but sorry to say, I know, so sorry to say, I know some of the most silliest older people in my life and that are not in my life, that don't make no bit of sense. What did you say? And you how? Yeah, so wise, having growth. You have to have growth in order to have wisdom.
All right. Now, what does it mean to you to be just?
To be righteous, to be right, not to be right, but to see, I'm going back to Family Feud again.
You don't get on Family Feud. Now, Steve Harvey walk in this room. We're going to push pause on the whole podcast.
Give me $10,000. All right, Steve,
we're going to push pause on the entire episode.
To be just, to be honest, to be, to be right, to be Sincere. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you just answered sincere, so
Oh, did I?
So that's okay. We'll skip that one when we come to it.
Okay.
Because you just answered both of those in one.
Okay,
so
good,
look at you with the 2
good
for 1.
job.
Good answer. What does it mean to you to be uplifting?
Motivating, encouraging. I like this one. Inspiring. Elevating, which is my motto. Motivate to elevate. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what uplifting is. Just making sure that whatever that you're planning inside of somebody that is uplifting, that is allowing you to elevate from the level that it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. And what does it mean to you to be soulful?
When I read that, I'm a foodie, so my mind my mind instantly went to food. So when I think of soulful, I think of soul food. I know soul food. I know that has nothing to do with it.
That
but
is quite all right.
I think of flavor. I think of season.
Nice.
I think of that's catchy. That's good. Just having that oomph to it. Like you hear a song, it's like, yes, that's soul. Yes, honey. So yeah, flavor.
Nice.
Foodie.
But that was a good example, though.
Flavor. Yes.
That's nice. I like that.
Yes.
That's okay. I do want to highlight something. I saw on social media on your birthday that passed.
Yes.
That you did a very interesting photo shoot.
Oh.
I loved
now you're gonna start making
everything
me cry.
about the photo shoot. Can you please tell the people about the photo shoot? Because I just thought the idea behind it was so wonderful.
Thank you. Doggone it, Cinnamon. Now you're gonna make me cry.
Love you.
Going to my emotional side. So my birthday, that was in January. I turned 33, which was called 33 Shades of Shay. So I chose 33 women that have been in my life for the past 33 years that has helped me become the woman that I have become today. Whether if it was just a snippet of planning a good word, whether if it was a part of my season that I went through something that was rough, whether if it was just being a good friend, whether if it was just being there. Just being there. Mm-hmm. You was a part of that photo shoot. So I brought a photo shoot of all those women, which some couldn't be there, but all 33 women were just motivating each other, because it was about me, but it wasn't about me. I wanted it to be about all of us at the same time, just uplifting each other, just making yourself look beautiful on this day that I was born on. Yes, but it really doesn't matter. Like, I want us to all feel beautiful on this day, and I want to thank you. See, there go the tears building up. Dang it, Cinnamon.
I'm sorry. You guys, I did not tell her I was going to ask about this. So she was completely unprepared.
Doggone it.
I have to keep something for myself, something for the listeners, something for my audience. But I just thought, I saw that and I was like, and I think we were just meeting. Via social media. Mind you, I want y'all to know we were introduced but connected. We were introduced virtually and then connected virtually. Yes. And when I saw that, I was like, I don't even know her, but I love her. Aww. That is, I love seeing things like that. And we need more of that. We need more of being uplifting towards one another and showing gratitude. It's like, you know what? You did something for me at one point in my life, and you may not have done another thing, but thank you for that thing that you did. I needed that.
Right.
I was like,
oh, Cinnamon, doggone it. That was building in the throat.
It's rising.
Right.
It's rising.
Yeah, but that was a special moment.
It was.
Really. And some of them I only knew, like Shonda, from Pain to Purpose, maybe 2 months. Mm-hmm. But it was just, she planted something in my heart. Oh. And that was it. Oh. So it didn't have to be big. It didn't have to be huge. Yeah. But just a thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
thank
coming
you.
to do this episode.
Thank you.
And can you please let the people know where they can find you online? Yes. Or social media, or wherever they can find you?
Well, Gift of Love website is Gift of Love, FDN.org. Or on Facebook, which is Gifted Love Foundation. It may have one of our founders' name, which is James Lockett, or myself, which you will find me under Shay Dupree-Harris.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Shay.
Thank you.
This is great. It's time for the Spirit Support segment, when we take a moment to feed our spirit. Brought to you by Jamila Wellness, where women go to be well and live beautifully. In Kings of Comedy, a film released in the year 2000, Cedric the Entertainer, one of the comedians, shared a joke about the wish factor versus the hope factor. He was saying that some people hoped that no one would be sitting in their seats if they got there a little late, versus another set of people who wished somebody would even try to be in their seats because they had the ticket to prove that they belonged there. They had some evidence. So I took that and matched it with Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, which tells me that faith is made of two things: the substance of things that are hoped for. The substance is something real, something tangible. And it's also the evidence of things we haven't seen, meaning evidence, something that tends to prove or disprove. It's proof of what we can't see. So faith is evidence. It's proof. It's something real that we can hold on to and use to say, this is why I choose a certain thing. Let's go a little step further. Does that mean that what ultimately separates faith from regular old hope is that faith comes with real proof? I think so. Let's go back to the joke or the example that he gave. Somebody hoped no one sat in the seats that they wanted, but somebody wished someone would try because they had a ticket that they paid for and they're holding it in their hand. And it shows you exactly what row, what section, what seat number that they are sitting in. So the ticket is the evidence. The ticket is the evidence. Past experiences is the evidence that they've used the ticket before or for some other concert or venue, and that's how they got their seat. So what's your evidence? What is it that you have that you build your faith on? My faith is built on nothing less than Jesus Christ's love and righteousness, because I've experienced it before. I've got some evidence to show. What's your evidence? Thanks for tuning in to Resilience Rising with Naturally Cinnamon. Life has a way of tossing unexpected trials and circumstances our way. We can't stop them, but we can better handle them by raising our resilience. Remember, you can find us at ResilienceRisingPodcast.com, on Instagram at Resilience Rising Podcast, and you can also send in a question or topic for this podcast by emailing us at ResilienceRisingPodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to like this podcast, love it, share it, rate it, and comment, but most important, make sure that you've subscribed and that you're following. I'm Naturally Cinnamon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Creative Director Jeremy Key for J Key Collective. Music by AJ Miles.